Girl Cooking with Tammy, and I am back with another video. Today I'm going to show you how to make my delicious Cajun shrimp sausage and potato skillet. Trust me, it is to die for. Absolutely delicious. We have a lot of preparation to do, so let's jump right in and get started. We're going to work on dicing our potatoes. Now this was a whole russet potato, one of the large potatoes basically, and what we did was we just sliced it in half, cut it in fours, and here we are. When we're cutting the potatoes, we're going to aim for cutting the potatoes the same size, only because cooking time, we want everything to cook at the same pace. We don't want to have a skinny piece of potato going up against a chunky potato, and guess what? One is going to cook before the other. So we're going to try to go for the same size. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be around the same size. Now that the potatoes are situated, we are going to move on to cutting up our sausage as well as our onion. First thing I'm going to do is I took the top and the bottom off. Boom, 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 just like that. Take the first layer off. I always do that. Take the shell off along with the first layer. Give it a quick rinse. Cut it right down the middle. Just like that. Turn it around. Everything in this recipe is based on the amount of what you want to add. If you want to feed 6 people, of course, you're going to add more. We're going to cut our sausage. You can cut your sausages diagonal or you can cut it up in cubes. Totally optional. Our sausage is done. Everything is cut up and ready to go. So what we're about to do is we are going to season our shrimp first and foremost. And to this shrimp, we're going to add a little oil. Most of you know I like to add my oil. Why? Because it helps with the dry rub. It helps to spread it a little easily. We're going to add a little bit of smoked paprika. Not too much. And we're going to add our Old Bay seasoning. And for this particular recipe, I left the tails on, basically for presentation, of course. Gonna give it a good mix, just like that. Make sure everything is well coated. And we don't have to go crazy with the salt or anything, because the other things that we introduce to our skillet is gonna have salt and so on and so forth. So once everything is combined in the pan, the flavors, everything is gonna be like, listen, one happy reunion. Everybody's gonna intertwine and mingle, and we're gonna have flavors from everything and just about everything, if that makes sense. Potato time. To the potatoes, we're gonna add just a little bit of oil, help out with the frying process just a bit. We're gonna add some smoked paprika. Once again, everything is seasoned to taste. And the paprika is also going to give it that nice orangey color. I'm also going to add a little bit of adobo. I know that's not Cajun, but that's okay. It's going to bring that extra flavor. We're going to add just a tad bit of cayenne pepper. The cayenne pepper, of course, it's in the name, pepper. You add what you want to add. And of course, we're going to add our Cajun spice seasoning. Make sure we add enough so it coats the potatoes. And we're going to add a little bit of onion powder. As well as garlic powder. And we're going to add some salt. Just like that. As well as some black pepper. And our roasted garlic and herb seasoning. And we're going to go in and we're just going to mix it up and combine all of the seasonings with the potatoes, of course. And already our potatoes have what? A beautiful color. These potatoes are going to stand out once we add it to the skillet and we start frying it. It's going to be so sexy. All right, this is perfect. We got the shrimp, we got everything on deck. And I almost forgot during the preparation process to dice up my bell pepper. Yep. This weekend we went to the farm and we had fun. Yes, this city girl went to the farm and I had a good time. Trust me, I never been to the farm before, as crazy as that sounds. Anyway, We have a 2-for-1 special. We got the green and we got the red bell pepper. What? Hey, hey. So we're gonna cut it up and we're gonna take out the membrane just like that. And this bell pepper is already washed and clean and ready to go. Cut it up just like this. You guys should have saw me in the farm. I was like a big kid in a candy store. I was so impressed by a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. I know how a lot of things grow, obviously, of course. But to see it up close and in person is a big difference. Especially when you grew up in the city and you talk like this. Yeah, so it was definitely a great experience. We don't talk, we talk. Just like this, and we say sausage. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna keep cutting these bell peppers up. I'm gonna actually cut it up in different sizes, only because guess what? We don't really need our bell peppers to cook through. We don't need it to be soft and mushy. We're gonna leave a little texture when it comes to the bell peppers, and also it helps with the presentation to have different sizes because it's, you know, it's an array of colors. So because it's a vegetable, we don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, the cooking process, cooking time, and all that stuff. The bell peppers could actually be left crunchy. Anyway, it's about that time. Let's get to cooking once again. I'm gonna add a little oil to our cast iron skillet. And this is good. This cast iron skillet is nice and hot and ready to go. So first thing we're gonna do is we are gonna add our potatoes to the skillet. Our potatoes has been going for about 8 to 10 minutes on medium heat. And we want our potatoes to get that nice crust right here, as you can see. So we're not gonna constantly keep flipping it. We're gonna allow it to brown perfectly. I'm gonna go in now and rotate it. We're gonna go in and toss it around just a little bit more because we want it to cook on all sides. Just like that. And this is starting to look so perfect. I forgot to mention, when I first added these potatoes to the skillet, the aroma, OMG, the aroma that came from the skillet was like, whoa. I want it to be like so expressive on camera, honestly. But yeah, it smells so good. So this right here is gonna be absolutely delicious. Anyway, we're just gonna keep tossing and turning about, I would honestly say every 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure nothing is burning and everything is cooking evenly throughout the process. And yeah, we're just gonna keep doing that for the time being. We're gonna move on to using a second pan because as you can see, the potatoes right here, they're being a little selfish. They don't wanna share any space. So we're gonna do our sausages in this pan right here. We're gonna add some oil, of course. Let that oil heat up. And once the oil is hot, we are gonna fry our sausages until they become nice and brown. And yeah, this should take about, what, 6 to 8 minutes. In the meanwhile, our potatoes are breaking down perfectly. And they're starting to soften up. We're not going to overcrowd the pan, of course, because we want everything to brown evenly. And that's it. We're just going to fry our sausages in 2 batches. We're going to push the potatoes over just a bit, just to make enough room in the pan, because guess what? We don't want to dirty up 100 pans and skillets and stuff like that. We're going to add a little oil. So we're going to add our onions to this side right here, along with our bell peppers. And we are going to allow our peppers and onions to saute. Our sausages are done. They are browned perfectly. If you have that little crust right here going on, everything is going to be just perfect. Our veggies are nice and slightly softened, not too much because we want that element of that crunch. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to incorporate our Cajun potatoes with our veggies. And we're not going to go in there and mash it up and all that stuff. We're just folding it in to the potatoes. Just like that. Check out the color. What? We're going to add our sausages. And using the same pan, we're going to sear our, guess what? Our shrimp. Once that pan comes back up to temperature, That is what we are going to do. I initially wanted to do everything in one skillet, but like I said, I ran out of room. I sure did. We're gonna add our shrimp to the hot pan. And of course, the pan has to be extremely hot because we're gonna sear our shrimp. And we're not gonna disturb it. We're gonna allow it to get a nice brown color before we flip it over. Look at that perfect sear. You see the little charness right around the edges? That is perfect. It's gonna give us great flavor. Because we're gonna allow it to cook all the way through, we're gonna give it about maybe an additional 1 minute, because of course it's seafood. Seafood takes no time whatsoever to cook. We are gonna add our beautiful shrimp to our skillet, just like that. Let all that saturation of juices flow into the skillet. And we could just, stage it however you want to stage it. And I'm acting like it's not hot, right? Going up in here using them fingers. What's wrong with you? Hit it off with a little bit of parsley. Everything is absolutely beautiful, and let me tell you, trust me when I tell you, it's absolutely tasty. This is our shrimp, sausage, potato skillet. Quick and easy to put together and absolutely amazing. As always, make sure you hit that like button before you leave out. Of course, tell all your friends and family to subscribe to your girl Cooking with Tammy. And as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.